I came to Auroville for a couple of months because since I started with Oralec and being in Pondi, I never took a break. I mean, I enjoyed my work, so somehow it was rolling nice. But then I also, when I entered Auroville, I thought it was a good time to take that break and assess where I wanted to work from, what I wanted to do, and so on. And CSR was a beautiful place. Carsten back in the day was sort of doing the small IT stuff there and so on. And then when I came with what I had in my background, I fit in quite well. And then we started a small service place for people who own computers in Auroville and small businesses and so on. So that's how it started in Auroville, CSR. And incidentally, Manoj and I were part of the same company. So it was a small little setup. Of course, we grew. I had more employees and so on, and it made more sense. I also volunteered to give time to the Auroville website at that time, the email services that were going on at that time. So I was not able to manage in two different locations. So it made sense that I moved to my office to Auroville. And that's how I ended up back at Auroville. So yeah, that's basically how it started. And yeah, I set up my unit, and I think it's now been almost 30 years. I think first of all, it's home. I've lived here longer than anywhere else. When I came to Auroville, I was 24. I came quite young. Of course, I mean, as you grow, there are always questions. I mean, they struggle with making a living. There was a time that I would just do things for free, and I didn't come with a big bank balance. I was young. And of course, I didn't want to take help from my family because this was my own choice to be here, against all sort of convention that if I was on a career trajectory that was going in a different direction, I stopped that and I did something else. So it did make sense that I would not take help from them to sustain myself here. So it was a slightly difficult period. So there is always this questioning whether I made the right choice or not. About year 2000 or so, I'm talking about. And then slowly it started to make more sense that I made the right choice by coming here. And I think that choice became stronger and stronger to the point where I feel that this is home. And the reason why I came here, what touched me was, see, there's a lot of stuff happening everywhere. People talk about spirituality here or there or something, but there's something unique about an attempt to human unity. Yeah. And this is not happening everywhere. Spirituality exists every corner of India. But what we are experimenting here is very unique, and it still remains very unique. So for me, that was important, and I think still it is, for me, the foundation of why I want to be here. It has given me a good life. It has given me space to be myself, which I wouldn't have had the space if I was somewhere else. Perhaps I would, but with some struggles. This is not to say there are no struggles here. With all the freedom comes even more questions and struggles and introspection. So with all the freedom that we are given here, there is also comes a challenge with it. And so I think that's the interesting part for me, that consciously being aware of everything that is being given to me, and to come through and do the right thing. I don't think we should stop talking. People tend to take one side or the other, and this has never been my thing. I may have a view about something, I may believe in something, I may express it, I would also let the other side express it. And I think that is important, because the moment you stop talking, you stop finding solutions. And somehow, people get labeled one or the other. And I personally don't believe that should be happening. In extreme cases, it may happen. I can't comment on that. But I personally feel that anyone who gives me a smile and wants to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to them and exchange views. Because at the core, we are here for Auroville. We are not here for our own little journey, because yes, our journey is also there, but it doesn't exist without Auroville and the well-being of Auroville, let's say. So our own well-being is intrinsically connected to Auroville. And I think the more we focus on that brotherhood of not stopping to talk, I think, I've tried also many times with lots of different friends and within friends and my own, kids that I grew up with here. I can call myself a kid because I came young also. So, sometimes one has a different opinion. I'm not even talking about Auroville as such. It can be anything in life. And I think what I have seen is that a deeper friendship tends to overlook a difference of opinion. And I think that friendship has to grow wider, in the sense that when someone disagrees with you, how are you able to overcome that and still remain friends, or be able to talk again about the same thing? Maybe something changes in 6 months. And the point is, if you stop talking, you get nowhere. Hope. My child gives me hope. The way she looks at life gives me hope. And every life, every town, city, village goes through some upheaval now and then. Auroville went through that in the early days. Then there was another upheaval of a different kind. See, again, there is a different one now. So everything shapes Auroville in some way or the other. What remains to be seen is whether this appeal that has come about is going to take Auroville in the correct direction or not. This only future can tell, because us having wishes and thoughts and aims or our version of Auroville is not what will define the future. Brotherhood, friendship, be kind to every other being. These are the most fundamental aspects, and if we cannot embody them in our everyday life, every moment, we will not be able to cross to the other side. A higher level of achievement of spirituality of any sort would be totally empty without these basic steps. And I think we don't need to aim for much higher, we can start very small. And I think there are a lot of people who still struggle with that simple thing. And we can go back to those basics, and I think a lot of things can be fixed. We have very, very serious conversations about a lot of things, and this is one of them. Or be it like her struggle with making friends, and the same thing is like how you treat each other is how your future can, be shaped with that. What can we do together? I mean, you see, my Auroville as a community has not changed so much, because I still am connected with the people I was connected with before. A larger community as such can only happen, for example, if it's the bonfire or such events which don't have any other agenda. And I find these are the events that can actually bring people more together, because it's a very quiet, introspective moment, and it lets you see others sitting in the same space. And I right now, I don't know what can we do to make that happen. See, making things happen again cannot work. It has to come from within. And tomorrow, if I want to go and talk to someone, I should feel that. And if I don't feel that, I will not be sincere about it. Same thing, you want to build a city, you cannot make a city. There are hundreds of cities like that in China which are half empty right now, because we thought we'll build everything, and then suddenly like people will think, oh wow, there's a gold mine there, let me go and live there. That's not how towns and cities grow. Cities grow because they offer something, and people don't mind where they live or how and so on. People will come together somehow, and that will sustain a city or a town, and it will grow. We shouldn't stop talking. Like I said before, we have to talk this through, because the rift is getting to a point where businesses are, you see, sustenance is also like, I run a commercial unit. I'm also managing another unit. I'm also managing the trust and so on. And I find that the sense of generosity that existed before has eroded a little bit. And I find that it's a sad thing, because all that we see around us was built on generosity and goodwill and nothing else.